What's going on, guys and gals? This is Autotech. So with that winter kind of hitting Calgary lately, can't say I've been getting a whole ton of riding in. Luckily, though, the ground isn't cold enough where the snow stays. So on evenings like this, if the sun's out, the roads will dry up, and then I can get out and ride. What does that mean, though, for me? That means I've been spending a lot more time on YouTube. Lately, I've been watching a lot of review videos, like, you know, of different bikes versus bikes, you know, those head-to-head videos, and, you know, I've been watching quite a few product reviews as well. And I've noticed one thing that all these reviews typically have in common, whether it's a head-to-head product review, bike review, or whatever. And the thing that I've noticed they all have in common is they quite resemble that fresh pile of cow patties out in the field. And if you're not familiar with what a cow patty is, it's a big old pile of manure. Now, what I mean by that is, you know, one person sees a pile of crap. Another person knows how to pick through said crap, process it quite properly, and turn it into fertilizer to help grow something else. Yeah, you see what I did there? And what I mean by that is, like, reviews are just, they're filled with fanboys, favoritism, and typically like a lot of garbage. And it frustrates me to no end. I'm not really sure how to word this quite properly, but it's like you can get good stuff out of a review. Like, you know, don't take this by any means that, like, oh, you shouldn't watch reviews, they're all garbage and you're not going to learn anything. You need to know what to pick through and what to kind of, you know, just take at like face value. And 95% of the time when they're, you know, getting paid to be there, you better believe it's getting fluffed like royally. So any sort of bike reveal or launch reviews are extremely jaded videos, you know, and all you really got to do is take a look at some of the YouTube Harley hating guys who happened to get paid by Harley Davidson and got shipped out to a place, and suddenly they are Harley Davidson fans. So, you know, I'm not going to name any names, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't really fault the people for that, though. Like, at least I don't, because at the end of the day, they're getting paid by a company, or they're getting given something, or they're getting an opportunity. So it's tough to come out the gate and be like, oh, this sucks, like, it's awful, it's terrible, don't buy this, because, you know, your employer or the person giving you the product is going to be less than pleased, and suddenly you're probably not going to be getting a whole lot of other, you know, jobs where it comes to reviewing stuff. Let's pick on, well, I'm gonna say his name on this one. No, I'm not. I'm gonna keep it secret. But there's a guy in Florida. He rides Harley Davidsons, and he gets the opportunity to do a lot of review videos, which is cool. Good for him. Right on. I wish some of my local dealers were like more social media savvy or YouTube savvy, and saw the benefits of letting people take demos out to ride them. Now, in the event he was to hop on to one of those new Harley Davidsons, and let's say, you know, like, it actually flat out did suck. It was just a poor design. And you know, in his video, he's like, this thing handles like one of them padded toilet seats, and you know, it sounds just about as good as the toilet flushing, and he just like shreds on this thing. You could probably bet that you know, there wouldn't be too many other demo or first to ride videos kind of heading his way. So, you know, the long story there was like, I can't really fault these people for giving it a good or slightly jaded review. The problem you're going to get when you come across these head-to-head videos is somebody's going to be a fanboy, and they will find whatever excuse to like make sure that their favorite wins, or that there's points docked against like the true competitor of it, you know. I'd be guilty of it too, like absolutely, I 100% would. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and lie about that. Like if I got invited to some like cruiser or like Dyna knockoff thing where they were like, here, test this bike and let us know how it compares to your Fat Bob, you know, in the back of their minds they're gonna be like, oh yeah, this thing's way better, and it might be actually better, but you know, I'd be riding it and I'd be like, oh yeah, like, you know, I love the seat, I love the seating position, this and that, but you know, those foot pegs they're, you know, 20 thousandths of an inch closer to me, so I'm going to have to go ahead and give this one to the Fat Bob. Or when it comes to that sort of thing, you know, I'd be like, oh, the handlebars feel great, this is working out great, but, you know, I don't really like that the throttle's on the right side, so I'm going to have to give this one to my Fat Bob. And I've literally seen head-to-head reviews from a magazine company that literally went like that. Now, I'm not going to name any names, but he's Russian, and he took out, like, it was the Tiger 800 and the BMW 800, and he's a BMW fanboy. And he's like, you know, the whole video, he's like, oh man, this Triumph is great, I love this Triumph, it's so amazing. And then, you know, and then at the end he like sits down and he's like, but you know, like, I didn't like the way that the gas tank touched my knees, so I'm gonna have to dock some serious stand-up points for that. And you know, I got, you know, I didn't like the way that the instrument cluster was, so I'm gonna have to give this one to the BMW. And it was like, what? Like, those aren't even legit things. Like, all right, well, whatever. So, you know, it's out there, and I'm sure you've seen several examples, and I know I've personally done it. Like even some of my FJ videos, I'm like, oh man, this thing is nowhere near as comfortable as my Harley, and it's like, well, go figure. Like, it's a totally different bike. When it comes to product review videos, those could definitely be biased, you know, because, like, for example, and let's drop a serious hint here, Metzler, if they were to send me a set of the Karoo 3s or whatever for this bike, like, they're true, you know, 50-50 tire, they look great, I would probably take them out and I would be like, oh my goodness, these tires are phenomenal, but they spin on ice. So that's a downside, guys. So, you know, it would just be like irrelevant stuff, and I'd be like super grateful that they gave me the tires to do a review on. And of course I'd be like, oh yeah, these are great, they're so good, you know, like, you know, they got a couple of downfalls, like you have to check the pressures once in a while, and you know, they're black and round, so, you know, that kind of doesn't really set them apart from all the other tires. So, you know, I'd find excuses to, like, get a couple of downfalls in there, and then I'd give you one of the, you know, like right at the end of the video, like, the down low, would I get these tires? I absolutely would. Now, you know, you've seen reviews that have that at the end. Here's the deal, and then they just say, yep, I would totally get it. I would say it's safe to say that this video has turned into a rant about reviews more than anything, but you know, to sum up everything I was kind of getting at in an extremely long-winded way is just take it all at like face value and kind of pick and choose from it as you will. And like what I mean by that is if he's a fanboy and he's busy saying like, yeah, you know, these handlebars aren't quite the same. Oh, these handlebars that, you know, like, oh, the throttle. He's happy with it. He just doesn't want to admit that he's happy with it. And, you know, like when it comes to a product review, if they're getting it for free, you know, definitely kind of keep your wits about you on that one. I'm not sure when it comes to like product head-to-head videos, because then it's, you know, somebody's going to pick their favorite, you know, like if I happen to be a Continental fan or something like that, I might favor the TKC 80s a little bit more than like something from like the Bridgestone lineup. But so, you know, like, don't be shy to watch reviews and stuff like that. But when it comes to like launch videos, definitely just treat those as entertainment value, because of course everything about the bike is phenomenal, and it's a life-changing machine, and it will tuck you in bed, like into bed at nighttime. Like, seriously, this bike is so good. But I hope you guys got a chuckle out of some of these examples, and you know, make sure you let me know down below some of the things you found when it comes to review videos. You know, I'm definitely curious to hear some of these stories, and you know, there's got to be tons of different examples where they were like, oh yeah, the mirror flashed me in the eye, and oh boy, we're about to hit some traffic, so that seems like a good spot to cut her down. If you're new to this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for taking the time and watching.